Live from the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is News 3 Now's special coverage of the Republican National Convention.
And welcome once again to our live coverage from Milwaukee. Night one of the Republican National Convention coming to a close right now, with former President Donald Trump making his first public appearance inside Fiserv Forum since the assassination attempt 2 days ago. Today was just the start of what will be an extremely busy week here in Milwaukee, ending Thursday night when Donald Trump is expected to give his acceptance speech as the Republican Party's official presidential nominee.
News 3 Now has had the team coverage all morning and afternoon long, and that continues tonight right here from the RNC. And here in Milwaukee, political reporter Will Keneally, he is at Fiserv Forum. He's been there all day, where all the activity is happening this week. And not far from us are Susan Simon and Brady Mallory at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, and then even more coverage from our crews back in Madison at the News 3 Now studios. And that is where our Jalen Banks and Armand Rahman are. And we have moved inside, as you have noticed, inside the Baird Center here, because the stormy weather that you guys were all having there have now reached us here. So we moved from our rooftop location just right inside. And for the latest information on tonight's storms, we're going to go to meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Good evening, Jacob.
Good evening, Charlotte. Nice to have you back, by the way. Most of the severe weather is pretty much gone from Wisconsin. We are still seeing some showers and a few thunderstorms in the southeastern portion of the state, but all the severe weather is to the south of us, impacting Chicago's region. But here in the southeastern portion of the state, just seeing some light to moderate showers. However, there have been several confirmed tornadoes in the Chicago region, so it kind of just shows you that although we did have some very strong storms, we definitely could have had stronger storms, as the strongest stayed to the south of us entirely. Now, the biggest story, we had some strong winds, but take a look at the amount of rainfall that we saw from this line of storms. Almost 4, if not over 4 inches of rainfall for a few locations, as that line of storms just kind of hung around northern Lafayette, northern Greene County, and then finally pushed further into Rock County. And we've already had a few flooding concerns before tonight, and this only heightened some of those flooding concerns. Now, for the rest of the night, it is going to be very quiet. And by the time we get to tomorrow morning, we're going to see completely clear skies, and we're really going to be quiet for the rest of the week. It's a very nice break from the weather. I'll have the full details on that coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you so much. So here in Milwaukee, the biggest news from the night of the Republican National Convention, we finally know who will be on the ticket with former President Donald Trump.
That's right, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. He will join Donald Trump on the Republican ticket in 2024. Little information about J.D. Vance. He is 39 years old right now. He'll actually turn 40 on election night. He was elected to the United States Senate back in 2022 and then sworn in last year. J.D. Vance is also the best-selling author of a book called Hillbilly Elegy, which is a memoir which later was adapted into a film. Now, Vance being chosen for the ticket was just one of many stories, as we mentioned, coming out of the Fiserv Forum and the convention today.
And that is where we find our political reporter, Will Keneally, tonight. So, Will, what are you hearing about Vance from the convention floor?
That's right. So we're here in essentially the bowl of the Fiserv Forum. This is where all the delegates meet to conduct party business. And earlier in this room is where they nominated or approved by voice vote J.D. Vance to appear as the VP presidential candidate on this November ballot. Now, earlier in the afternoon, we spoke with Wisconsin delegates to talk about what they think of that pick. We spoke with a former Wisconsin Republican Governor Scott Walker.
Well, I think having a good Midwesterner is a wonderful thing for us here in the Heartland. I think also J.D. Vance has got a very powerful personal story. You know, his family had to deal with drug addiction. He wrote about in the book he wrote years ago. That's something that everyday Americans can relate to.
No, throughout the night here, we heard from notable congressmen, congresswomen, including U.S. Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin here. Here's what he had to say.
Unfortunately, Vice President Harris and President Biden had made our lives less safe and far more expensive. In other words, a lot more difficult.
Now, this mirrors one of the themes from the convention that we've seen throughout, to make America affordable again. Now, each night has its own theme, and we'll see that kind of continue throughout the week here. I do want to mention, though, as we were talking about before, we did see former President Donald Trump make an appearance here. He sat in a box with J.D. Vance, his VP pick here. A notable, just kind of joyous cheers from the crowd here. We heard chants of Trump, chants of Fight USA kind of throughout as he sat through kind of the latter half of the proceedings this evening. But yeah, for now, we'll send it back to you guys. Reporting from the Fiserv Forum, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. The Biden campaign responding, of course, almost immediately after that announcement that J.D. Vance would be Trump's VP pick and campaign chair for the Democratic Party. Jen O'Malley Dillon saying in part, and I quote here, Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance as his running mate because Vance will do what Mike Pence wouldn't do on January 6th, bend over backwards to enable Trump and his extreme MAGA agenda, end quote. Now, earlier this year, Vance told ABC News he would not have certified President Biden's 2020 win had he been the vice president at that time. And the selection of Vance as Trump's running mate comes, of course, just 2 days after that assassination attempt that happened during that rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday.
And that was clearly on the minds of many people here as the RNC kicked off today. And we are still learning more about what happened on Saturday. Arman Rahman is in our Madison studios now with the very latest. Arman?
Eric and Charlotte, the FBI said today it tried to gain access to data on the cell phone of the 20-year-old man who tried to assassinate Trump. They're still searching for a motive behind that shooting. And while appearing at Fiserv tonight, of course, Trump's not expected to speak in Milwaukee until his nomination acceptance speech Thursday night. It's a speech he says he rewrote in light of the shooting. Supporters of his believe the assassination attempt will unite Republicans in their efforts to re-elect Trump to office.
They tried to assassinate him, and he's still coming back fighting. So I think the Republicans are behind him 150% now.
Right now, the FBI is investigating Saturday's shooting as an act of domestic terrorism. One other person was shot and killed, and 2 others were critically wounded. The suspect was shot and killed by a Secret Service sniper. Investigators believe he was working alone.
Arman,
All right, here we are. We are at the Panther Arena on Media Row. We've been here all day. And of course, what happened on Saturday, that is looming large here at the Republican National Convention. It's kind of laying the groundwork moving forward. And Republicans are wondering how to move forward and galvanize the entire Republican Party. So that central theme is here at the RNC. And Republicans from all over the nation are here in Milwaukee for this week's events.
And that, of course, includes a lot of Wisconsin politicians. Earlier today, Brady and I spoke with Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden about his thoughts on the tone of the first day of the RNC. Congressman Derek Van Orden joins us now. Congressman, thank you so much for taking the time.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
How has the first day of the convention been for you?
A little warmer than I thought.
Yes.
Let's just be honest. It's great. You know, going around seeing old friends. I saw a whole bunch of my constituents last night, and as you run into them in the street, it's fun to see them. We put over 250,000 miles on our vehicles when I ran for office, and we've been to just about every township. I think all of our townships in the 3rd, and so I know a whole bunch of folks, and it's wonderful to get together. This is like a family reunion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, all eyes are on the VP pick, Senator J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
What do you think about that ticket? The ticket is shaped, so now what happens?
J.D. Vance was raised in abject rural poverty, broken home. It was just a mess. He wrote a book about it.
Hillbillyology.
That's correct. Then he left his home as a young man, joined the military, got out of the military, met his spouse, had kids, then became a U.S. Senator. And now he's our VP pick. He did all that within a single generation. And I was raised in exactly the same circumstances. Abject rural poverty, broken home, left my home as a young man, joined the service. I did 26 years. And then I met my wife. She's sitting right over there. We have 4 kids. We just had our 11th grandchild, and now I'm a member of Congress. So JD and I walked the same path in that we came from the meanest circumstances you can in the United States of America, and now we're at the highest levels of government. That's an expression of the American dream. And I think everybody should really look at that and understand that, and they should gravitate towards that, because that's what my district is like. We're an agrarian district. We have a lot of people that are below the poverty line, and I'm there working for them. And I don't care what their political affiliation was, Democrat or Republican. See some of the stuff that J.D. Vance said about the president initially. He didn't care. And we have to get away from the R and the D. And it's funny because you're red and you're blue, so we have to get away from the R and the D, and we got to start looking at each other as American citizens. And I think that's what you're going to hear from President Trump. And we've always known it about him. We've always known he's been a uniter, not a divider. He's been portrayed as someone that he's not. And what you saw, I have multiple combat tours. What you saw when he literally got shot in the head and stood straight back up again, raised his fist in defiance and called for us to continue to fight for our freedoms, that's called capital L leadership. And that's what the country needs now.
And we will continue to bring you interviews from Panther Arena all week. That's one of the perks of being on Media Row. We have access to a lot of people to talk to. And by the way, we will also be bringing you coverage from the Democratic National Convention next month in Chicago.
And we're kind of in like a city within a city, because Susan and I are two of nearly like 15,000 journalists who are here to cover the convention all week. Several national outlets as well as international. We've seen folks from France, the BBC, Iran. So it is very crowded here. And we will send it back to Eric and Charlotte.
All right, Susan and Brady, thank you very much.
It has been a very busy first night here at the RNC, and we expect nothing less over the next 3 nights.
That's right. So don't go anywhere. We have more stories coming up next, right after a short break. We're also going to get a lot of news coming your way from Milwaukee, but also back in Madison, where Jalen Banks is standing by. He'll be back with the latest local headlines after a short break.
It's 6 p.m. in Wisconsin, and you want to know what happened throughout the day. That's where News 3 Now at 6 comes in. Moving forward. While you're navigating your day, we're out in the community, uncovering the stories and finding the answers you're looking for. Local breaking news, in-depth reports, getting to the heart of events and issues that matter here. And when bad weather is on the way, we warn you first. Start your evening with News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward. Weeknights.
These were my great-grandpappy's glasses. And now they're yours, son.
Why can't I just get my own?
What? No, these have at least a few hundred years left in them.
I think the kid needs his own. Get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79, all same day.
Yeah, I want my own.
Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
This is where all your dreams come true. You are the Moulin Rouge!
Madison's most spectacular night out is Moulin Rouge, the musical. Winner of 10 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The New York Times calls it dazzling, gasp-inspiring. In Moulin Rouge, life is beautiful. Now playing at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series, gas, hybrid, or all-electric. These are the deals you've been waiting for. So don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a 0 down payment and make it no payments for up to 90 days on F-150. Only at your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
This famous wood fence from the show Home Improvement had to have boards replaced 13 times in only 9 years. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are all backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. This month, save $1,000 on your project. Visit the website or call the number for your new fence today.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today. From Girls 5 Ever, we've got Sarah Bareilles, Busy Phillips, Paula Pell, and Renee Elise Goldsberry. I love y'all so much. Plus, Arthur the King's Natalie Emanuel on The Jennifer Hudson Show.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Happening tomorrow, former Madison pastor Robert Stein begins his trial after being charged with child sexual assault last August. The jury was selected today for trial. Stein faces 2 felony charges of first-degree child sexual assault, sexual contact or sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 13. News 3 Investigates first reported last summer that then pastor at Midville Baptist Church on Madison's Near West Side lost his license to operate the church's child care facility following an investigation. According to court records, a 13-year-old girl accused Stein of assaulting her 3 times from 2018 to 2019. There were also allegations of a separate incident during a group outing at Devil's Lake State Park in 2021. This week, Milwaukee has taken center stage nationwide, hosting the Republican National Convention at Fiserv Forum. The big story there today, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio announced earlier as former President Donald Trump's running mate as vice president. Eric Franke and Charlotte DeLeste continue our RNC coverage from Milwaukee at the Barrett Center, and right now they're joined by a special guest.
That's right, Jalen. Thank you. Brandon Scholl's with us once again. Always great to have you. It's been part of our election coverage, of course, for years. You've been to many of these, and you know, with Donald Trump, you certainly learned that there's not a set playbook, do you? It's always different, and we're used to seeing like a culmination, a build-up to a vice presidential pick. Yeah. It happens early this week.
Yeah, this was, we would say this is a very non-traditional convention, which kind of follows along the lines of Donald Trump. For example, he was in the convention hall tonight. He announced his VP a day or 2 before they usually do. So it's very different than what people are used to. But the enthusiasm you see from the delegates wasn't waned at all. I mean, they were just taking it in every time something happened. They just loved what was coming. So it was a very different opening night, but still very exciting.
And also very exciting, a lot of Wisconsin flavor on the first day already.
Well, one would hope that being in Milwaukee would do that. You know, the Wisconsin delegation sitting up front this morning at their breakfast. Ron Johnson and Newt Gingrich welcomed the delegates to Milwaukee, got them started. Senator Johnson spoke at the convention tonight, one of the first speakers tonight, and brought up the little schoolhouse where the Republican Party started years ago. So it really did have that nice kick of Wisconsin in it. Really good for, obviously, the delegates and everybody, but for Milwaukee as well.
Yeah, it's we've seen these before. You know, 2012 was certainly strong in Tampa with Paul Ryan on the ticket, but it is kind of an interesting thing to cover when it has such a strong Wisconsin flavor.
And in your own backyard, you just can't have the day go by without something happening. So it's been a nice start for the convention in Wisconsin.
Other than the weather, we should say.
Yeah.
And because we have this beautiful shot we'd love our viewers to enjoy of,
it's gorgeous.
Of the Panther Arena behind us. We're on a rooftop at the Barrett Center here, which is a convention center, and then Fiserv Forum is on the other side of where Susan and Brady are at the Panther Arena. But weather's been rolling across southern Wisconsin, and we want to get to Jacob Montesano, our meteorologist, who has the very latest on the forecast. Not only what's happening over here, but certainly Madison. It's been an eventful night in the weather department. Jacob?
Yeah, still seeing some rain in the southeastern portion of the state, but Madison and points north and westward, the rain is pretty much done. And the severe weather is also pretty much done for all of Wisconsin. And as we head into the overnight hours, it's going to be much calmer. Now, I do want to talk about some of the storm reports we had earlier. This one out of Broadhead had wind speeds up to 78 miles per hour, but even stronger than that near Foothill, 84 miles per hour. So still some very strong storms, but thankfully they didn't really impact much of Wisconsin, just the very far southern portion of the state. And we also had some wind speeds up to 70 miles per hour in the southwestern portion of the state. Now, although the severe weather only impacted a small portion of our area, very heavy rain fell. Some places saw over 4 inches of rainfall as a band of rain kind of hung over northern Lafayette and northern Greene County, and as I talked about, also produced some very strong winds. And with all the rainfall, we are continuing to see more flood bulletins with more flood warnings, more flood advisories. The flash flood warnings have expired, but still, we are going to continue to see a flooding concern overnight. But the good news is that going forward, the weather is going to help a lot at reducing flood risk. So tomorrow, high temperatures will be much cooler. Well, not necessarily much cooler, but it will feel much cooler because the humidity values will also be a lot lower, as highs will be in the lower 80s. And as we look at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, I mean, compared to today, this is going to be much, much calmer. Middle 70s for Wednesday and Thursday, partly sunny skies, only about a 10% chance of rain. There's a chance we may not see any rainfall for the rest of this week once the rain in the southeastern portion of Wisconsin clears out. And this is going to be the case for Milwaukee as well, for anyone that plans on going to the convention. It's going to be very nice across southern Wisconsin. Partly sunny skies, maybe a few storms for next week, but obviously a lot can change between now and then. Still a bit unclear how that will play out, but high temperatures will be right around average, if not a little bit below average. Highs will be in the lower 80s, which is the average high for this time of year. Some days, especially the middle of this week, we could be talking about high temperatures in the middle 70s, which is quite well below average. So we've had 3 alert days in a row, but for the rest of this week, we pretty much have the exact opposite of alert day. Very calm weather, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it, and we're not going to have any more bad weather for the convention the rest of this week. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Congress has been spinning its wheels. Shinkland. In the Capitol, I've passed 225 bipartisan laws to help farmers, workers, and families. I approve this message because I have the experience to get things moving.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. At Next Door and Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last longer than you can buy. Nextwindow.com to learn more.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid Brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
It's time for the grooviest event of the summer. You'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through the 11th.
I'm so happy I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello permanent fat removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
To get things moving in the state capitol, but in Congress, I'll also have the experience to stop bad ideas like the national abortion ban and stop attacks on our democracy. I'm Katrina Shankland, and I approve this message because our freedoms are on the line.
Former Badger basketball star Brad Davison was back in the area hosting his Grit basketball camp, where he was not only teaching the skills of the game to hundreds of young hoopers, but using basketball to teach life lessons. Grit stands for gratitude, relationships, identity, toughness, and truth. 5 words that helped shape Brad into the man he is today. and 5 words that he preaches while using his platform to give back.
I think the goal of life is to find your purpose and then find something you're passionate about. And so for both my wife and I, we are very passionate about the game of basketball, and we believe our purpose is to connect with people, to love on people, to inspire people, and we believe that we've been given the basketball as a gift to do that. And so it's perfect for us as we enjoy being with the youth, we enjoy being in the community, and we love the game of basketball. So for us, it makes perfect sense.
LeBron James and Team USA taking on Australia in a tune-up before the Olympics. This one was close late until Tyrese Halliburton came up big for the U.S. The Wisconsin native dials one up from deep to make it a 9-point game. Then not even a minute later, it's Halliburton again from the corner, and again he splashes one home as Team USA beats Australia 98-92. For the first time since 2014, the Brewers have multiple All-Star starters. That year, there were 3, Carlos Gomez, Jonathan Lucroy, and Romanis Ramirez. This Midsummer Classic, there will be 2, William Contreras and Christian Yelich. The latter is making his 3rd All-Star appearance and is back to his MVP form in the batter's box. And for Yelich to return to the All-Star game at 32, well, that's a pretty special feeling.
No, just to kind of do it in your 30s a little bit. I think when you get when you turn 30 years old in sports, you know, you're young in life, but you're ancient in sports, the way people view sports. So, you know, I think that's kind of cool to be able to do it for, you know, different periods of time, and just to be a part of it and still be able to know that you can play at a high level is, you know, pretty cool.
And we're back after this.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. All natural chicken breasts, just $3.88. Driscoll strawberries, just $2.44 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. And Hy-Vee yogurt, 3 for just $1. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Turn your old deck into dollars. You can trade in your old deck and earn cash back towards a brand new deck that is backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. All you have to do is visit tradeinmydeck.com, answer a few quick questions, and you'll see your estimated trade-in value instantly. Visit tradeinmydeck.com.
Welcome to the Health Spa. We always knew that we wanted to grow, and we couldn't find the right location. When this spot appeared, we're like, gosh, if we can get this location secured.
We both approached Olivia at Tobacco Credit Union, and she walked us through the paperwork and the process in order to get this project started.
The best thing about working with Tobacco was they also showed us other available opportunities that could help us actually reduce our loan rate. So they are partners with us, and with the help of them, we've been able to create this beautiful space.
Here's to sweet summer days together in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment. Here's to supper club celebrations. And to a lifetime of memories. Here's to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. And dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness, and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Right now, lease a new Corolla Cross for $299 a month, or lease a 2024 RAV4 for $329 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Save big Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Lay's, Kettle Cooked, Rolled Gold, or Munchies, $1.99 each when you buy 2. Jack's Pizza, $2.98. And buy 2, get 1 free on Coke or Topo Chico Sabores. Monday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
News 3 Now Republican National Convention coverage all this week.
The Late Show will be live tonight after the RNC. Tune in for all the ha-has and also all the
Colbert goes live after the Republican National Convention with Representative Adam Kinzinger tonight on CBS.
So, Zach, luckily all the festivities are further south for the All-Star game because up here, it's been a pretty wild day.
Wouldn't be good for baseball.
Yeah, not at all. Jacob, before we head on out, pretty busy night for you guys for the first-time weather team.
Yeah, but thankfully things are really calming down. Looking at the current radar, there are still some light to moderate showers across the southeastern portion of the state, even a few lightning strikes here and there, but the severe weather has pretty much passed. And by the time we get to the later overnight hours and early tomorrow morning, we're going to be dry, partly cloudy skies, lows in the upper 60s. And then for tomorrow, temperatures will be cooler. Humidity values will be a lot cooler, or a lot lower, I should say, as we are going to see the highs in the lower 80s with much drier conditions in the air. Now, as we look at the 7-day rainfall chances, not going to see much. Now, obviously, the Monday and Monday tonight, that is past. So Tuesday going forward, we have a very small chance of rain. We may not really see any rainfall for the rest of this week once that current rain finally clears out. A very quiet forecast, and temperatures will be very comfortable as well. Highs in the lower 80s, middle to upper 70s. Pretty close to average for this time of year, a little bit below average for the middle of the week. Then we have a chance of some storms for the beginning of next week, but a lot could change between now and then. Overall, definitely enjoy the weather going forward, and I'm certainly going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure I speak for everybody in southern Wisconsin. Some calmer weather, something we definitely need. Yeah. It's been a rough first 6-7 months of the year.
Yeah. It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, for sure, to put it simply. Jacob, thank you. And thank you all for tuning in for News 3 Now at 10. But more time with Eric Franke and Charlotte DeLeste. They're in Milwaukee after an eventful first day of the Republican National Convention. Guys.
Yeah, Jalen, thank you so much. And, you know, the weather also so eventful here. As Jacob was talking about the forecast there, we welcomed Charlotte back. And now she gets to walk back to her car. We have some umbrellas, right?
Yes.
It's pouring outside here at the Fiserv Forum and the convention grounds here. We are at the Baird Center, so we have a fun walk back.
We do. But we're going to go by my old stomping grounds on the way back.
We brought back her Marquette wisdom just a few blocks from us. Great to have you back.
It is great to be back.
Charlotte is going to help us with our convention coverage for the rest of the week and also join us in Chicago next month for our team coverage of the Democratic National Convention as well. So great to have her back. And that wraps up, as we've said, day one of the RNC, an eventful first day. The running mate picked for the first time this early in the festivities. Again, 3 more days before presumably former President Trump wraps things up with a big speech on Thursday night.
Right, and presumably he will address those delegates here at that time. But as we've learned, he really doesn't stick to any playbook.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Well, thanks for joining us. Stay with us on News 3 Now this morning for more live coverage and at channel3000.com.